What's up, y'all? I'm back today for another episode of Cook&TalkTV. It's your girl, Chandra. Most of you guys who are friends and family know me better as C, but I hope you guys are doing well today. Today I wanted to talk about something we kind of hit on it when we talked in our single parent video session, when we talked about our single parent versus two parent households. We kind of got into it a little bit, but today I want to talk about single mothers. I know yesterday was Father's Day, so I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. This is not a claim at getting at those baby daddies or anything, so we're not trying to, bash any baby daddies here. So this is not what that's about. But I did kind of want to get into single mothers. I think you guys may have seen this shirt in one of the other episodes, and I kind of want to put it back on today because I want you guys to see what it says. And I think it says here, motherhood is the toughest hood. But I think you can kind of see what it says here. Hopefully you can see it. Let's see. So I wanted to wear that again because for the sake of the conversation, again, like I said, I wanted to talk about single mothers. And I feel like I have some validity to talk about this situation, or I say situation, but this state, I guess you can say, state of being, because I've been a single mother at various points throughout my life. I have 4 kids, as you guys know, from the first video, and 3 of them I had with a previous relationship. So, just kind of give you a little background on me. I had my first child when I was 18 years old. So I was graduating high school at 17, and I was 6 months pregnant already. So again, like I said, I actually delivered him when I was 18. So again, that's pretty young, to have a child. Although I was, already out of school and all of that, that's still pretty young, having a child coming straight out of high school, not really getting to go on that more traditional path of, from high school to college and that type of thing. So I'm kind of taking the non-traditional path at this point. So having my first child, I'll say that it was tough. However, I did have a lot of support from my parents. I know you guys have heard me talk about my parents a lot throughout these videos as well. So there was a great support system raising my son. And I had the opportunity to go on to school if I wanted to, but because I felt like, I had this child and I need to be responsible for this child. This is not my parents' responsibility to take care of my child, and they've already raised their kids. So no, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So again, I made the choice of taking care of my child myself and not going straight to college. So doing that, I had to figure it all out. I just had to figure it all out. And I have seen a lot of my friends say, and just family and everything. I've heard a lot of people say, having children, you learn that having children that young, it really does take away from your youth. Being able to do those young adult things. I had that first child at 18. By the time I was 20, I had already had 2 kids. And by the time I was 25, I had 3 kids. So, like I said, throughout that time, I was placed in the single mother's status a lot throughout those years of having those kids. And one thing that I can say, and looking back on it, I wouldn't change a thing, because seeing as how the world is today, I'm glad I had my kids early. However, when I was doing it, when I was a single mother and I was out here doing it, those times alone and, figuring it all out, it's pretty tough. I figured it out. I got a job and started taking care of myself and my kids. And, by the time I was, 19, I had moved out from my parents. And so I had 2 on my own when I first moved out. I had 2 kids at that point. Now, I'm gonna tell you, there was some nights and probably some days, but I was working. I was a single mother. I was working. I was going to school, sometimes full-time, part-time, just depending on my schedule, full-time, part-time, and taking care of my kids. Getting up in the morning, rushing them to daycare, and then rushing to work. And then doing it all over again, the next day, in that afternoon, the next day. But I will say that, when those times came, when I saw my girlfriends, they was going out and hanging out and doing what people do at a young age. Yeah, I got depressed a lot. I dealt with anxiety, like during that time. A lot of anxiety because, I was sitting beside 4 walls with 2 kids or 3, and not being able to really go anywhere because either of not having a babysitter or, just whatever the reason was. I mean, I had kids. I had to be there to take care of my children. So there was a lot of times that I found myself down because I'm looking at, like I said, I'm looking at my other friends, and they're out and they're hanging out and they're doing what, 19, 20, 21-year-old would do at that time. And so I did feel like I was missing out at times. And, I would get really down about it. But I will say, during those times, for me, it took my mom, a lot of conversation with my mom, and, kind of staying in prayer, because I do have a faith walk of my own, of course. But just staying in prayer and staying in conversation with my mom, she really what kept me going a lot, because I did find myself getting down a lot, because, again, like, you're not able to do those things that, like I said, someone your age, at that age, would be doing. So it does get you down. Can I say now that I probably wasn't missing a whole lot? Yeah, I can say now that I probably wasn't missing a whole lot. But there were times where I was like, this can't be it, because I know, like I said, this is not a baby daddy bashing thing or anything, but I know I'm sure he's out having fun, but nobody's over here. I can't go anywhere. I have to take care of these kids. I have nobody to watch these kids. I have to be here with these kids. So that was a lot of down, a lot of depressing times for me, and I can't blame anybody but myself, because, I had, my mom tried to tell me the right way of doing things or whatever, but you get out here and you think you know it all, and you end up with a baby before you're even, out of your baby stages, so to speak, you're still young yourself. So one thing I will say about that, listen to your parents, because I know we hate to do that when we're young, because we think we know it all and we think they don't know anything, but your parents do know a lot. And I would just, like I said, the advice I would give someone at another young age, and even to my teenage daughter, is to live your life. Live your life before you start having a family. And I'm not saying there's a thing wrong with having a family, because you should have a family. Women should get married, have a family, and do what they need to do. Go to school, but I would definitely say go to school, graduate high school, go get your education. I wasn't taught a whole lot about higher education and those types of things growing up. Now I know the importance of it, but then I didn't, just didn't have those conversations with my parents, at that time, because of, their upbringing or whatever, which is fine, but I didn't have those conversations. So definitely get your education, go to school, live for you first, take some trips, see the world, establish yourself, get you a good paying job, or even if you don't want to work for someone else, if you got to start from working for someone else first, and then you branch out and you get your own thing. You be an entrepreneur. You do your own things. That way you work for yourself. But definitely do some things for yourself before you start having someone else to be responsible for. Because once you start being responsible for someone else, it's no longer your life as you knew it. It's just not. It's just, and like I said, I love my kids, and I wouldn't trade them for nothing, and I wouldn't change nothing. But I definitely say I do know that I probably would have done some things differently had I not had my kids so early. Like I said, now I say I'm so thankful I had kids early and got them on out the way, just based on how this world is today. But then I definitely was feeling like I was missing out on some things, and didn't really have anybody, and this, that, and the thirds. But don't get me wrong, I was able at times to go out and hang out, thanks to cousins, and my mom kept my kids every now and then, and those types of things. So I was still able to do some of those things that a young adult would do, but I didn't get a chance to go right off to college right away. I mean, I didn't get a chance to travel and go see the world before I was able to have kids. I mean, thankfully I have been able to do some of those things since I've been an adult, but I'm pretty sure it probably would have been funner if I was able to do that with my girlfriends, or whatever. But, it's neither here nor there. But I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. And so if you're dealing with a situation right now and you feel like you have no one else or whatever, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and tell them that, I need help. It's only for your mental state, and it's only for your well-being that you get that time to yourself that you well deserve. Reach out to family members, friends. If someone's willing to babysit the kids for a little while you step out and get you some me time, then do that. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because we all need help, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we all need that mental break. We need that mental break, because we all know that kids can be a handful. Particularly when you're doing it by yourself and you feel like nobody else is there. It can be a lot, and it weighs on you mentally and physically. So definitely get those breaks for yourself, because it's definitely necessary. like I said, if there, if there's anything that you guys want to ask me, or during those times, those periods where I was experiencing, being a single mother, or anything you want to ask me, please do. I'm very open, and I'll share my experiences. It doesn't bother me none, because I feel like anything that I have went through, and if it can help someone else, I'm more than open to share those experiences with you guys. And again, thank you for watching us. We've been enjoying it. It's been fun for us to do, and kind of therapeutic for us as well. So if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, let us know. We'll try to hit on those topics. Again, we're not experts. We're just giving our opinion based on our experiences. So again, you single mothers, hold your head up. Hold your head up. If you don't have a support system, yes, it's going to be a little harder. But if you have that support system, do what you need to do. If you haven't went to finish your schooling, go back to school. Get your education. Make something out of your life for you and your children, your child, or whatever the case may be. So you can look back and say, you could be that role model for your child, because that was what was most important for me, is to set an example for my children that you could still do it. You could still come out of this. You may have been a single mother, but guess what? You can come out of this. You can still get your education. You can still travel the world. You can still do whatever it is that you want to do if you put your mind to it. It ain't going to always be easy. No, it's not going to always be easy. But you can do it. And that's what I want you to do. Hold your head up. Push forward. And if you need help, ask for help. Don't be afraid or ashamed to ask for help. But you guys, I will talk to you on the next episode. Keep your head up. Be strong. And remember, come for the food, but stay for the conversation. There's going to be a lot more conversation. So you guys come check us out. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.